Us Godzilla fans have loved watching the King of the Monsters flatten cities for years, and now it's your time to conquer the world with today's sponsor, Conflict of Nations. Conflict of Nations is a free online PvP strategy game where you, the player, chooses a real country to lead in a worldwide conflict, all at your fingertips. Set in the late 20th and early 21st century, fielding present-day and highly modern battlefield technology, conquer provinces, capture capitals, and fight for world domination. Tackle the world with over 100 beautifully modeled modern warfare systems such as combat attack helicopters, stealth strike fighters, airborne infantry units, and even nuclear ballistic submarines.
How many nukes do you have?
Many! Picking from a variety of countries, you can form lasting alliances or stab your friends in the back by declaring war on them. It's your choice. Available on Google Play Store, iOS App Store, and PC browser. Fight up to 64 other players in real time, and the best part is, it's entirely cross-platform. So if you're on PC, you can play with your account on mobile to continue your world conquest. The guys over at Conflict of Nations have given you lovely residents a deal where you can receive a special gift. Click on the link in the description below to get 13,000 gold and 1 month of premium subscription for free. This offer is only available for 30 days, so give it a try. Click the link in the description, choose your country, and fight your way to victory. Thanks residents for listening, and thanks to Conflict of Nations for supporting the channel. We'd really appreciate it if you residents check the game out. Now, onto the video. What's up residents, Alistair here, with a brand new theory revolving around some interesting news following the release of the cover art for the upcoming Godzilla vs Kong Art of the Ultimate Battle Royale, something a lot of people have missed. Now upon initial inspection, this cover art might seem fairly simple, a 2D tribal style piece depicting members of Godzilla and Kong species at war, similar to the cave paintings seen in previous MonsterVerse entries. But look closer. There's something that changes everything we know about the history of these creatures. And no, it's not the battle axe, but the fact the humans are fighting alongside the Titans. Not only that, but they appear to be taking sides. What does this mean for not only the history of the Titans, but for humanity? Well, let's find out. Welcome back. So since we have very little to actually go off, we're going to have to do a lot of digging to find out more about what this could potentially be telling us. First, let's go back to the ending of Godzilla King of the Monsters. For those that waited until the end, we got to see a hint towards the next entry in the MonsterVerse, with a cave painting of Godzilla and Kong fighting, with what seems to be tribespeople powerless to stop the Titans from clashing. Most are either screaming in fear for their god being downed, or they could be cheering them on. This discovery could have served as either documentation of events of the past, told by the survivors, or it could have been predicting the future, leading to the events of Godzilla vs Kong. Now, the reason I think it's documenting a battle that's already occurred is because in the trailer for Godzilla vs Kong, it was stated that there was a war and they're the last ones standing, which tells us that thousands of years ago, their species once clashed, and these are the remnants of their once great conflict, and they still feel that anger towards each other even today. Godzilla's species had a hand in wiping out Kong's species, and in return, Kong's species have forged weapons made from pieces of Godzilla's species. Dorsal plates as the blade, skin as the leather binding, and bone as the handle, which could have been pieces of Godzilla's brother, distant cousin, or even parent, which only adds salt to the wound, essentially insulting and disrespecting his ancestry. You can almost see Godzilla react with absolute disgust when he sees Kong show up with the battle axe. But what's different from this cave painting and the one from the cover of Godzilla vs Kong's art book? Well, the new one shows humanity not only fighting back, but even picking sides with either Godzilla or Kong, and fighting other humans for dominance. And what's weirder is that the war between the Titans happened in the Hollow Earth, deep underground, meaning they were native to that land. These were unlike any people we know today. But who are these tribes, and why are they picking sides? Well, let's look into it. We see a few people brandishing spears on the side of Kong, and your first thought might be that these are Iwis, the civilization of people that Kong protects on Skull Island. But after some research, the Iwi people came to Skull Island by sea around the time of Kong's birth, before colonizing a section of the island. The people depicted in the painting are much more ancient, but we can figure out much more about what's going on by looking into who Godzilla's followers might have been. We saw parts of their civilization in King of the Monsters, where we bear witness to their giant sculptures designed to worship their god. Their work bears a resemblance to ancient Roman, Egyptian, or even Mesopotamian civilization, except on an even larger scale. This was unlike anything the world has ever seen and is considered the most ancient civilization known to man, spanning around 10,000 years old. But how did their grand city fall and end up deep in the Atlantic Ocean? Well, according to the redacted text from Godzilla King of the Monsters, there was a great cataclysm caused by a war between the humans and the Titans that led to catastrophic geological destruction, one of which would have been a complete structural collapse of the civilization that worshipped Godzilla, leading to flooding, potentially killing all of those that lived within. But one piece of info revealed to us is that the war was started due to humanity attempting to enslave the Titans, to likely use them in war to grow their own empire to new regions. There's a chance people didn't like the tyrannical way Godzilla ran things and decided to switch sides to Kong, who would willingly protect them, and because of this, war broke out, leading to the disastrous turn of events. This might be why we see less people on Kong's side than on Godzilla's, with Kong's allies being mere rebels that decided to resist against Godzilla's rule. This could be why Kong's species has a natural willingness to protect the Iwis, as a group of people that submit themselves towards him instead of trying to control him. So will these people show up in Godzilla vs. Kong? The simple answer is no. The people depicted here have died thousands of years ago due to the Great War between Titans. They are gone and buried with only the remnants of their grand architecture remaining. Although this art was representing a past event, it could also be predicting the future, one way or another, with a group of people on Kong's side, like Gia, the young Iwi girl that can communicate with Kong, and Monarch, who want to research the Titans, going against those that want to control the Titans, like Apex. There could be a war not from only the Titans, but the humans for and against them. So to answer the question, who are these people? The answer is a collection of those that worship the Titans, one from the grand civilization centered around Godzilla, and the other a rebellion that sided with Kong, both at war with each other to protect their future. Ultimately, the war led to their demise, with only a few individuals that lived to tell the tale through these cave paintings. Some lucky ones may have planted the seeds for later civilizations, influencing future empires, whilst others died off over time. Ghosts of a once great empire that thrived in the hollow earth, that fell to their own ignorance to the power of nature. So, that's what we can gather from the cover of Godzilla vs. Kong's concept art book. There's such a rich history for not only Godzilla, but the humans that thrived around them. It's so interesting just to see how the civilizations rose and fell. I do hope we discover more about them leading into Godzilla vs. Kong. But what do you think? Would you like to uncover more info about them, or do you prefer them being a mystery? Let us know in the comment section down below. Before I go, I'd just like to thank Conflict of Nations for sponsoring this video, and to remind you guys that if you follow the link in the description, you get loads of free stuff to get you on your way to world conquest. If you enjoyed this look into the MonsterVerse's history, then give us a like, because it helps this video reach a wider audience. Don't forget to subscribe and stomp that notification button to become a resident of Dangerville today. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.